make a review or make a plush episode. I'm working on a movie, so yes, the latest and greatest from XSMARTS, one of my favorite bootleg companies. Rest in peace. More on that later, but yeah, these plushies kind of came out randomly and I have them. There's also another plushie I do want to talk about later in the video, but we shall talk about that later. But anyways, yeah, these are cool. I like these. I don't know what to really say about these things. Other than, weirdly enough, maybe Shadow Freddy might be my favorite. I don't know. Anyways, here's Golden Freddy. Withered Golden Freddy, technically, but yeah, everything's pretty good on them. Same body style as all the Funko stuff, but way more detailed, way less printing, and overall, it's just really nice to look at. I mean, you got a nice bow tie, embroidered buttons, withering, all the above. And something I don't really think a lot of people notice about the Golden Freddy's design is the wires coming out of his shoulders and there. I might get rid of that one, but leave that one. I don't know. That's the one thing that is kind of a consistent issue with XSMARTS. I always have some trouble with the wires. Well, Wither Freddy's not really a good example of this. Wither Bonnie, more specifically, these wires are a little too long for my taste. I would like these to be a little bit more, like, thicker, maybe. But, yeah, overall, the Withered Wave was not that bad. I would even say it's pretty good, considering what Funko normally does with the Withereds. Absolutely nothing. But what if God was real? Anyways, yeah, this is a fairly nice representation of Golden Freddy, and I also made it a point of myself to get these specific versions of the plushies and not the weird ones where their head is sideways and shows their teeth. Ugh. I mean, props to you if you like that design. I personally don't like that style for the plushies. This one just feels a little bit more like cuter, more natural, and very similar to Withered Freddy. I mean, of course, it's pretty much just Freddy but yellow, but with slight differences. I like that these two are not exactly the same. I mean, it could have just easily just been another, like, you know, just Freddy but with eyes, with white eyes and just yellow, but no, they actually did something different with this thing. I mean, I can't really say the same for Shadow Freddy, but we'll get to him in just a minute. But overall, I really like this. I might hot glue / shorten a bit of these wires, like specifically the eyes. I might hot glue them there just to make them stick there. I gotta work around this, and you know, some of the wires are a little weird, but yeah, other than that, it's nicely stuffed. Nothing feels overly stuffed like a few releases, and the tag here is also very nice. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by the one with the teeth. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but I don't know, the teeth just make it look creepy. But yeah, I would give Golden Freddy a solid 8 out of 10. Maybe bordering more towards a 9 because I do really like how he looks. But I just like Shadow Freddy a little bit better. Yeah, so this is basically the same as Golden Freddy, but that purple, damn, that looks nice. I mean, again, it's pretty much the same thing, just purple and all that good stuff. And I will confirm this right now, this is not going to replace the Shadow Freddy you see in videos. I don't know. I feel like the customs for Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy in my series are a little, they're like iconic enough to the point where I don't really need to replace them. Or like the Withereds, I keep on replacing them, and that's why they look different than like every so often. Like for instance, Golden Freddy, he's gonna look like this from now on. And who knows, maybe I might make that other Golden Freddy into something, but yeah, pretty much. The Shadow Freddy will not replace the current one, and I don't even know how I'm gonna use this one. It's just nice to have. But yeah, there's really not much for me to say. It's just purple Golden Freddy. Although with Golden Freddy, I do kind of wish he didn't have his pupils and it was just kind of pitch black. But who knows? Maybe I could do something about that. I mean, yeah, there's really not, like I said, there's not much to say about it. It's pretty much all the same, but it's just purple. The white eyes don't really bug me as much with this one because, you know, he actually has white eyes. in the game, unlike this doofus. But yeah, this is a really good plush. I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10. I don't really need to say much about it. They're just really good plushies. Even after you put them next to Wither Freddy. Here's Wither Freddy. Yeah, they all look good. It's really amazing that XSMARTS has this amount of quality and like quantity with these things. But you know, U2's is stinky, so you know, we might not get any more XSMARTS plushies. And this thing, it's all because of this doofus. But you know, with what little time we've had with this company, I gotta say it's one of my favorite bootleg FNAF companies. Their plushies have all been amazing. They make characters that we actually want to see as plushies. And of course they have to stop when they were about to make Scrap Trap. God damn it. But yeah, with that being said, a moment of silence for XSMARTS. Anyways, XSMARTS is dead. But what if I told you there was more FNAF plushies that you could get at the low price of your kidney? That's right, baby. Hex Parts and Service, the bag. Yeah, so yeah, this the Hex plushies, parts and service. The bag is falling. Yeah, I'm not really gonna like talk about the bag too much. They are really nice. I like the little Springtraps there. The Hex FNAF. Very nice. Freddy's. Anyway, screw the bag. And here he is. Probably the best Springtrap plush I've ever seen. And yeah, if you don't know what Hex is at this point, it's basically just a little plush. It's basically just a brand by Dawko, where it's like its own original thing. I've seen a few episodes, and they're pretty good. But, you know, it's kind of overshadowed because FNAF is being collabed with it. I see you, Lewis. I see you doing a little collab here. Anyways, yeah, the actual Hex brand might be a little overshadowed because of the FNAF plushie collab, but yeah, I would say these have been pretty good plushies. I say that even though this is the only one I have from them. Yeah, even though these plushies do look pretty good, I don't like a lot of the line. And before anyone asks, I do want to get at least the FNAF 1 gang and Spring Bonnie, maybe Fredbear, but the Withers and Toys, I mean, they don't look bad, but like, I don't know, something's off about them. But whenever Dawko releases the Sister Location Wave, or if he makes the rest of the nightmares, count me in. And if you're wondering, I could really care less about Nightmare. He's cool and all, about like, here's my big super hot take. Nightmare should be the actual depiction of death instead of Nightmare. Ooh, hot take. Anyways, this is a review, right? Anyways, yeah, this is a really cool plushie. The whole point of the Hex brand is basically you could like take them apart and all that, which is why it's called Parts and Service. And this is basically supposed to be like plushies Henry made characters or something. I don't know, whatever Dawko's excuse is just to make FNAF merch. Lewis, I love you, but like calm down with the prices. But yeah, with that being said, this is probably the best Springtrap plush I've ever owned. But yeah, a lot of good detail here. You got a lot of wires popping out, which are kind of long, but unlike the XSMARTS plushies, I'm not gonna really mess with them because that. And unlike our old friend, the Funko plush, yeah, the colors are a lot better and are Springtrap. You know, like it's a really nice dark moldy green. You can actually like tell there's a dead guy in there. His ears look good instead of being whatever the hell that is. And his teeth are nicely embroidered in yellow. Although, I don't know if this is just specifically with mine, but it kind of looks like the muzzle is just a giant mustache. Also, I did not really realize this until I got the plushie, but the wires coming out of the muzzle are kind of weird. Yeah, like, I mean, if the wires weren't there on the muzzle, I would be fine with it. But like, you know, they're there, and again, it just looks like a mustache. Well, you know, little whiskers from a cat. Speaking of weird cats, just like Mommy Toei from the popular show Madoka Magica, you can rip his head off of his shoulders. I have been watching Madoka Magica recently, and let me tell you, it has been scarring me for life. Please help. It is not your typical anime. I will tell you that much. Lord help me. But yeah, in terms of the wires, I'm just gonna probably cut off these ones and call it a day because it looks a lot better. Dog! And yeah, the whole point of this line is that, yeah, they're just magnets, so you can do whatever you really care to do. You can even make Garvey from that one FNAF fan game we don't like talking about. Dear Lord, what have I just made? And yeah, if you stand him up, he is really tall. Like, I had to like pick up the camera to get some really good detailed shots, but like, yeah, this is a really nice looking plush. And you know, the bun eyes are pretty nice. It's a little weird, but it does kind of add to Springtrap's creep factor, you know? Hey guys, editor me here, and I totally didn't just wake up. It took me a minute to like remember this, but his eyes, I don't know if this is on every Hex plushie, but his eyes are actually kind of cold, made of metal. Kind of neat. That's all I wanted to point out. Probably because Springtrap metallic guys, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna go back to bed. And yeah, the whole bun thing is part of Hex's brand, like the whole buns and whatever else. Been a while since I've actually read the comic, and I actually didn't notice, but the bun there is actually a real bun, and it's embroidered because people forget that there's a bun on Springtrap. Speaking of forgetting, I completely forgot about this little guy. The Shadow Cupcake, which is something that people kind of forget exists. So this only appears in FNAF 3, but only when you're trying to get the happiest day ending. I think it's night 3 where like you have to click around cameras and click on these things like 4 times to like get into Chica's party or something. Like, it's the Chica minigame. It's a nice little reference, and I like that it's here and Springtrap can hold it. And the detail on this thing is good too. Once again, the buttons embroidered on, and this thing is actually a big thick piece of cardboard instead of just being flat pieces of paper. And, you know, a little base there. There's a magnet on this thing, so wait. Oh! There's a magnet and the little plate and the cupcake. Oh, that's adorable. I actually didn't know about that before I started filming. Okay, okay, that is legitimately pretty cool. Okay, I already love this thing, but now I absolutely want to marry it. I mean, you all know me, I'm a Springtrap simp. Trust me, I'm wearing a shirt for that. Completely unintentional, but you don't really care. Also, hi, it's me. Hello. But yeah, I'd say with the little Shadow Cupcake, it's definitely worth the purchase. And I'm not even gonna wrap up the review yet because we have one more little thing this thing comes with. Ba-bam! For all you Pokemon collectors, get your Pokédex ready. I don't know, I haven't collected cards in years. But yeah, in this little sleeve, you get a nicely drawn image of the plush itself with Springtrap on there. You get Hex at X Five Nights at Freddy's on the back. Definitely looks like an actual card. And I'm just gonna go under the assumption that he is burning in Fazbear's Fright. And if so, nice job, Dawko. Now I can't wait for the Scrap Trap plush. Please, Dawko, please make the scraps. I will buy all of them in a heartbeat. And yeah, I am gonna get some of the line, not all of them, but mostly because of space, because holy crap, this thing is huge. I mean, just compared to the normal Funko Springtrap, this thing is humongous. This is more of like a collector's item than something you're actually gonna play with, though, which I don't really mind. I'm not really gonna move him much. I might even just keep him here as a desk buddy. Just have him creepily stare at someone when they enter the room. But yeah, being the most latest plushie from this line, I would give this a solid 10 out of 10. Like, I know it's probably a biasy because, again, Springtrap simp, but I genuinely mean that. There's really nice quality on this figure. The fabric feels nice. It actually looks like Springtrap. Then you get a little cupcake companion, which It's actually a really nice bonus. I like that.
And I haven't even talked about the metallic feet. Like, that is... I haven't seen that since the Nightmares in Wave 2 of Funko Annie's head came off.
I'm getting flashbacks. But yeah, for being the latest Hex plushie, and my only Hex plush the more I think about it, this is a nice plush, and I like it. And again, I'm definitely gonna get some in the line. I really could care less for the FNAF 2 wave. But definitely the cuddle, or like the cuddle versions of the first wave, because they are basically the same as the first wave, but without the magnets. Plus they're cheaper, so But, yeah, with that being said, that is all I got for this review. But yeah, the movie is definitely going to take a minute, and season 10 is not going to come until after the movie, which, if you don't know, I'm making a movie. So yeah, little reviews like this that are plush related, or even just like FNAF related stuff that I can like talk about. It's definitely going to be what I'm going to do for the next few months. I might even make a few plush shorts in the meantime, because that long without between season 9 and 10 is definitely going to take a minute, and you know, I feel bad that it's going to be that much of a gap for you guys, so, you know, I'll think of something. Then college is kind of a pain in the ass, so, you know, gotta get around that. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go watch Monica Magica with my new best friend.
Michael! Don't leave me here! My house! My dog!
You may not recognize me at first, but I assure you, it's still me.